I will never forget the moment. I had to tell her poor girls that someone killed their mom.
Right now, consecutive life sentences for Marcus Randall L. months after being found guilty of killing two moms.
But first, we are hours away from a legal battle over Wisconsin's pre-Civil War abortion ban, why Attorney General Josh Kaul is arguing the law should not be enforced.
And an Atlanta murder suspect captured hours after allegedly opening fire inside a waiting room. What police tonight are saying about the shooting, which appears to be an act of random violence. That's all coming up right now on News 3 Now at 10. Arguments are set to begin tomorrow in a lawsuit against Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul announced that lawsuit shortly after Roe v. Wade was overturned last summer by the U.S. Supreme Court. New at 10, Arman Rahman breaks down why Kaul is saying the 1849 ban is invalid.
Charlotte Eric, Kaul filed the lawsuit days after abortion was made illegal in Wisconsin. He says Wisconsinites deserve clarity since he says a pre-Roe and post-Roe law are in direct conflict with each other.
We're going to keep fighting to protect, to restore access to safe and legal abortion in Wisconsin.
The message from Attorney General Josh Kaul going into Thursday's lawsuit is the same as when he first filed it last June.
It can't be both legal and illegal to provide an abortion.
Right after Roe v. Wade was overturned and Wisconsin's pre-Civil War abortion ban went into effect, Kaul argued the 1849 law clashed with a post-Roe law from 1985, which made abortion illegal only if it's done after the fetus is, quote, viable, or when a physician determines it could reasonably survive outside the womb.
I believe that we have very strong legal arguments. There were a series of laws passed after Roe was decided that regulate legal abortion, and we believe are fundamentally inconsistent with the ban that was passed in 1849 originally.
The 1849 ban, on the other hand, charges providers who perform abortions with felonies with no exceptions for rape or incest. They could spend up to 6 years in prison, or 15 if the fetus is more than 16 weeks developed.
If Republicans won't do their part, what's right, and help the people of the state, then we will.
The lawsuit going before a judge Thursday is not Wisconsin Democrats' only attempt to break down the 174-year-old ban. Governor Tony Evers called a special session earlier in June to repeal it. Republican leadership gavelled in and immediately gavelled out of the special session about 14 seconds later. As oral arguments are set to begin, Kaul says he's hopeful.
We explained in our reply brief why we believe that we do have standing, and I'm confident that on that issue as well as the merits of the case we will succeed.
Reporting, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Well, we hope you had a chance to get outdoors today to enjoy that sunshine.
And if you thought today was nice, well, just wait until tomorrow. Julian Seawright has what you can look forward to in his first warn forecast. Julian?
That's right. Tomorrow's going to be even better. Today, we were pretty nice, but we're just going to get on better as we close out the rest of this week. Taking a look at how things are feeling right now, not too shabby. Don't even need a coat outside. 48 degrees here in Madison with 50 in Janesville and 54 for Platteville. Taking a closer look around Dane County, many of us into the middle and upper 40s throughout southern Wisconsin and for Dane County in itself. And for Stoughton and towards Edgerton into the lower 50s. So a pretty cool night. Can't really complain about it since it's been so cold over the last couple of days. Looking ahead, temperatures will continue to fall into about the lower 40s as we reach closer to our sunrise. We're looking at temperatures to be around 40 degrees into the overnight hours, but we're going to be warming up rather quickly as we get into our early morning hours, and on top of it, getting into our Thursday afternoon. High temperatures are going to be around 70 degrees for us. Partly sunny and mild, and it's going to be a day to enjoy. But folks, we are tracking some potential showers to close out the work week heading in from overnight Thursday into our Friday. We'll take a closer look at this and just how warm we're going to get as we close out the work week in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
And Julian, thank you. More than 3 months after being found guilty of murdering two Rock County mothers, Marcus Randall L. is heading to prison for the rest of his life, sentenced this morning to consecutive life terms for the 2020 deaths of Brittany McAdory and Sierra Winchester.
Judge Barbara McCrory ruled he'd be eligible to petition for early release in 60 years. If he's still alive, He'd be 96 years old by then. McAdory and Winchester were shot and killed by Randall L. in Janesville in the early hours of February 10th, 2020. He was arrested a few days later after turning himself into authorities in Chicago. A jury convicted him on 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide in January in a trial that lasted a little longer than a week. Before Randall L.'s sentence was delivered, he heard from the loved ones of those he killed.
What kind of person takes a mother from their children? And not just one mother, but 2. Not just 4 children, but 6 children. There is no manual that will ever guide them in life on how to cope with what Marcus did to their mothers.
Family members of Randall L. also had the chance to speak. They all agreed his actions that morning were extremely out of character from the person they know. His older brother, former NFL wide receiver and current Detroit Lions receivers coach Antoine Randall L., asked for his brother to be shown mercy.
The person who made that decision years ago is not the guy I know, the guy I grew up with. So I'm just asking you to have mercy.
Marcus Randall L. was given the opportunity to speak, but waived that right. His defense argued he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and should have the opportunity to apply for early release after 20 years. Instead, he will have to wait 60. We sent out a push alert through the Channel 3000 mobile app as soon as we learned of Randall L.'s prison sentence. A reminder, if you have the app, make sure push notifications are turned on so you never miss a breaking story.
New tonight at 10, 5 minors were arrested this afternoon after crashing and fleeing from a stolen vehicle. Deputies say the driver was a 13-year-old girl. That group traveling eastbound on the Beltline inside a stolen SUV. When a deputy recognized the vehicle as stolen, deputies tried to stop the vehicle, but it sped off and crashed into another vehicle near Buckeye Road. The stolen car continued on Stoughton Road before it became disabled at State Highway 30. That's when the occupants fled, but they were caught and arrested. Luckily, no one was injured in that crash.
Fitchburg police say a bullet was shot through 3 apartments last night near Fish Hatchery Road. Multiple people called 911 to report gunshots around 9:20 last night in the area of Leopold Way. That is just across the street from Leopold Elementary School. Officers didn't see any evidence of damage last night, but this morning they returned and found a bullet that had gone through 3 apartments, all of which had residents inside at the time. No one was hurt. Fitchburg police are now investigating, and you were asked to call Crime Stoppers if you have any information on the shooting. The phone number is 608-266-6014.
If you have thoughts on policing in your neighborhood, the Madison Police Department would like to hear from you and pay you for it. The department looking for 30 people to serve on its Community Policing Advisory Board. Members of the board will collect questions concerning policing from people living in one of the 6 police districts, as well as share ideas with officers on how to best approach policing issues in specific neighborhoods. Madison Police are hopeful this will build trust and transparency between the department and the community. Applications are due by May 26th. We've included a link to apply online. Just look for this story at channel3000.com. An hours-long manhunt in the South has now ended after a shooting inside an Atlanta hospital waiting room left 1 woman dead and 4 others hurt.
Atlanta police locked down parts of Midtown for several hours while searching for the shooter, who was arrested in the last 3 hours.
This is how people are expected to live now. I mean, you could just go out to lunch or go to the doctor's office or go to daycare, which is nearby, and drop your kid off. And you could have a lockdown that lasts most of the day and be covered with this fear and uncertainty about what's happening to your loved ones.
The shooter has been identified as 24-year-old Dion Patterson. His mom was with him at the time of the shooting, but she was not shot.
Authorities say he carjacked someone to flee from the crime scene hours before his capture. CBS News' Mark Strassman shares what investigators have learned about Patterson, including his time in the armed forces.
Police say this is 24-year-old Dion Patterson, accused of opening fire inside an Atlanta medical building.
Female shot, she's seriously bleeding, shot in the side and the back.
1 person was killed, 4 others injured. All 5 were women, ranging in age from 25 to 71.
Within minutes, we had multiple trauma surgeons, multiple staff in the trauma bay itself.
Authorities captured Patterson several hours after the shooting.
We are able to bring this suspect into custody without further harm. He will be charged and stand trial for his crimes.
Sources tell CBS News the suspect became agitated while waiting for his appointment. He then took out a handgun and started shooting. KJ Johnson heard the violence from 2 floors below.
We did hear some popping noise that we didn't know what the popping noise was, so originally we just ignored it.
A law enforcement source says Patterson, a Coast Guard veteran, is on medication for mental health issues. Police believe he stole a car and fled the area after the shooting.
We behave as if this is normal.
Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock called on Congress to take action on gun legislation.
We're not safe at concerts. We're not safe at banks. We're not safe at parades. We're not safe in our own yards and in our own homes. And now, today, we can add medical facilities to that list.
According to the Gun Violence Archive, this is the 190th mass shooting in the U.S. this year. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
New tonight, here's a fresh booking mugshot of Francisco Oropesa. It's the man accused of shooting and killing 5 of his neighbors during a dispute last week in Texas. Last night, he was captured. Authorities found him hiding under a pile of laundry in a closet about 20 miles from the crime scene. He's been charged with 5 counts of murder and possibly the death penalty if those charges get upgraded to capital murder. Also arrested, a woman in a relationship with Oropesa.
Diva Mara Nava appeared in court this morning on the charge of hindering the apprehension of a fugitive. Authorities say Nava lived with and shares a child with Oropesa. According to arrest documents, she allowed him to stay at her home during the manhunt. The documents also say she brought Oropesa donuts, delivered messages for him as he was looking to flee to Mexico.
What we believe that Ms. Nava was doing is that she was providing him with material aid and encouragement, food, clothes, and had arranged transport to this house.
A second person accused of helping Oropesa was also arrested. Domingo Castilla is being held on a marijuana possession charge, but more charges are expected to be filed. This Saturday is the Kentucky Derby, but ahead of the race, there's a dark cloud looming over Churchill Downs after the deaths of 4 horses. Officials say they all died in separate incidents within a 5-day period. Churchill Downs says 2 horses died after suffering musculoskeletal injuries. 2 others suddenly died at the start of Derby week. The 149th Run for the Roses, the first leg of horse racing's coveted Triple Crown, is set to run Saturday in Louisville. More local stories are just ahead on News 3 Now at 10.
UW-Madison students are pushing back against the university's response to a racist video getting a lot of clicks online. Why they say the school needs to take a stronger stance.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
With my low E, my game is in the gutter.
Low E, also known as low energy, is wreaking havoc on millions.
With my low E, I can no longer express myself through dance.
I can't even pull out the hose.
Thankfully, there's Planet Fitness, a judgment-free zone for that big fitness energy, giving you a post-workout glow all day.
Now everyone wants a taste of my salsa.
Thanks, Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends May 10th.
Now I can untangle anyone's hose.
Are record high energy and water costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive. While you may not ask for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm, Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to be without heat, water, or power. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.heat.help.
You may want to attend college,
but you have a full-time job and kids that need your full-time attention.
How can you possibly attend college?
You learn online at South University.
Earn your degree any hour, any day, from anywhere.
And the credit transfer policies also make it easier to return to college.
The convenience of taking classes where you want.
The flexibility of taking classes when you want.
So you can become who you want.
South University Online.
1-800-211-2082.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
How do you do all of this? Chloe Bailey is unbreakable. Stretching is key. You ain't got to tell me, because I ain't going to try to do it, girl. Plus, Kelvin Harrison Jr.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
New at 10, a woman suffered superficial burns this afternoon after a grease fire started in the kitchen of her southwest Madison home. This happened on Pegam Drive. She told firefighters she was heating oil when she left the kitchen to check on her infant. When she returned, the stovetop was on fire. Firefighters were called and they quickly extinguished the fire and ventilated the home of smoke. The woman refused to be taken to the hospital for the burns. Madison Fire estimates $15,000 worth of fire and smoke damage inside. Black students and allies of UW-Madison are outraged the university cannot expel the student behind a racist video that's gotten a lot of views online.
They began with a silent demonstration inside Bascom Hall and got to speak with the chancellor, Jennifer Mnuchin, but they did not like what she had to say. So that's when the group went outside, marching and protesting across campus. More than 250 students were involved. University officials tell us they cannot take action against the student in the video, but said in a statement, the language used does not reflect university values. For students protesting, that doesn't mean much.
Not removing her is saying that it's okay to say these things to us in your own private space and not get held accountable for it. That's the statement that they're loudly but silently saying.
The video, which began circulating on social media earlier this week, showed a woman repeatedly using racial slurs and glorifying slavery. Student protesters today said they want to see the UW take a zero-tolerance approach to hate speech, remove the student from the university, and provide more space for black students on campus. More apartment complexes keep popping up in Verona. The need for housing there continues to grow as Epic, the city's largest employer, regularly adds jobs. 4 apartments under construction line Verona Avenue west of Main Street, part of a development acting as an extension of downtown. Mayor Luke Diaz says that this new area serves 2 purposes: creating a stronger downtown core and also lowering the burden on finding a place to live. All 4 complexes are expected to be open by the end of the year.
Could using the internet actually be good for our health? Well, according to a new study, it is keeping our brains active. Research found people who regularly spend time online are less likely to develop dementia. 18,000 adults between the ages of 50 and 65 were tracked over an 8-year period. None of them had dementia at the start of the study, but by the end of it, those who regularly went online were about half as likely to develop dementia. According to the study, 2 hours or less online per day is what's recommended. People who use the internet during that time frame had the lowest risk of dementia.
The newest class of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees has been announced. Rage Against the Machine is the most rock and roll oriented of the artists announced in the 2023 class. It also includes Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, Willie Nelson, George Michael, Missy Elliott, and the R&B group The Spinners.
Inductees don't have to be rock artists. They just need to have had an impact and influence on the genre. Pop star Chaka Khan and the longtime host of Soul Train, Don Cornelius, will also be honored as part of the class. An induction ceremony is set for November 3rd. And Julian Seawright is back with us now with a look at our first foreign forecast.
Are you ready for the 70s?
Oh, love the 70s.
I think we've been waiting a long time for that, Charlotte and Eric. So let's go ahead and talk about what we can expect heading in for the rest of the work week, starting with the 3 things we will need to know. Well, tomorrow is going to feel a whole lot like spring. Today was great. Tomorrow's going to be better. We're talking about 70s from Thursday to Friday through the weekend and even next week. That's right, folks. We're finally going to feel a lot more like May over the next several days, though we are looking for not just some sunshine and warm weather, but some potential shower chances for us as well, and even may throw in a couple thunderstorm opportunities. As we get into most of the next few days, though, it's going to stay mainly dry, but we will have periods that could be wet for some areas. So let's go ahead and talk about what we have for our setup. High pressure is still settling into the northern parts of Wisconsin, but we are looking at that low pressure, which is just between the border of Canada and northern Minnesota, that will continue to move across the upper Midwest, and that's going to be shaking some things up for us by the time we get into our Thursday evening, night, and for our Friday. Planning out tomorrow, though, it is going to be a great day. A little cool to start, but finishing is all that matters. 70 degrees is what we're expecting heading into our afternoon and evening hours. Sunshine is going to be sticking around until we get into that evening, where cloud cover will start to increase. But other than that, folks, it's going to be a pretty great day. We're looking at near 70 for Madison, 72 for Janesville, 73 for Platteville, and our friends to the west into the middle 70s as well. Areas just to the east are going to be looking into those 60s, but even still going to be a great day across southern Wisconsin. Now, as we get into the rest of the overnight, waking up tomorrow morning, still going to be rather cool. May see some cloud early, but once we get into the noon hour, wind speeds will be picking up, temperatures will rise, and lunchtime and the rest of our afternoon is going to be shaping up to be rather nice. Cloud cover is going to look to increase once we get into the 5 p.m. commute. And as we head into the overnight, we are looking for some shower activity just north of the Dells and to the northwest. Some spot-up showers are possible around Dane County, but mainly overnight is where we're going to see much of that action, especially around the time we're heading out the door for Friday morning. Temperatures will be into the 50s, already feeling quite mild. And then we're looking for on and off periodic showers throughout much of our Friday morning, Friday afternoon, and going into our Friday evening as well. How much rain we're going to be expecting could see about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. Areas near Lone Rock and to the further northwest are going to be seeing a bit more rainfall, but it's not going to be a washout. Again, this is mainly going to be periodic showers that we're going to be expecting throughout the course of this event. And on top of it, really just going to be looking at an isolated thunderstorm to be possible going into our Friday as well, but mainly going to be a shower event. Heading into the weekend, temperatures still into the 70s, a bit breezier heading in for Saturday. Sunday is going to be great throughout the course of the day, but Sunday nights is where we're looking for another pattern change, which will be bringing in some potential thunderstorms that could be leading into next week, where we have quite a bit of unsettled weather. At least the 70s stick around, but folks, be prepared for more wet weather heading into next week.
And coming up in sports, Jacoby Neath is no longer a member of the Badger men's basketball team. Why he's leaving the team is next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Join the Circle of Life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
At Lawton Cates, justice means helping with your medical bills, standing up to the insurance company, and demanding compensation for lost time at work. And there's never a fee until we deliver results for you. Your life counts. Lawton Cates.
Arby's, 2 for $7. Every day, a classic, a favorite, an Arby's legend. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
How do we decide what hotel to book?
Fear not. I got you. Choice Hotels has a hotel for every type of stay.
Like a comfort with the kiddos.
Spacious.
That's what they all say. Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
Show us your weather photos, and you could win a First Warn weather umbrella. Send us your weather pics in an email or on the First Warn weather app. We'll select and showcase the winning entries each day on News 3 Now This Morning and News 3 Now at 6. Send in your pics to win a First Warn weather umbrella today.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Aaron Rodgers, Alan Lazard, Tim Boyle, Billy Turner, Nathaniel Hackett, and now Randall Cobb. MetLife Stadium is officially Lambeau Field East. The newest former Packer, now Jet, agreed with the franchise this afternoon to a deal that's expected to be for 1 year. Cobb caught 62 passes for nearly 800 yards and 6 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons during his second stint in Green Bay. After playing in just 23 games over 2 seasons because of injuries, Jacoby Neath's time at Wisconsin is over. The 6'4" guard announced on Wednesday that he's returning home to Canada to continue his rehabilitation and education. Neath said in his post that he's forever grateful and thankful for everyone who played a role during his time at UW. Joe Pavelski never scored 4 goals in a game. That is until last night when the former Badger made history in his return to the ice. Remember, Pavelski hadn't played since April 18th after a brutal hit that sent him into concussion protocol. Well, the pride of Plover was back for Game 1 against the Kraken, and Pavelski scored 4 goals in his 19 minutes of ice time to become the oldest player in NHL playoff history to score 4 goals in 1 game.
There's a lot of different shots of adrenaline that we're going through last night, you know, from warm-ups to starting the game to, you know, scoring those goals. You know, I've never had 4, so you're trying not to, you know, take it for granted, but also trying not to take a deep breath and, you know, be satisfied with that. And that's the biggest mindset I think I was going with last night.
Sis Paulson is headed to the Wisconsin Hockey Hall of Fame. UW's Director of Operations and Equipment Manager was named to the class of 2023 this afternoon and will be officially inducted on September 9th. During her playing days, Paulson was a 3-time team captain for the Badgers and currently is one of the best in the business at her craft, recently serving as USA Hockey's equipment manager in the Winter Olympics and Women's World Championships. Game 2 between the Brewers and Rockies, and the 4th inning was not a fun one for the crew. Bases loaded for Alan Trejo, and he's going to clear him with a 3 RBI double. The Rockies scored a 4 in the inning and the first 7 of the game. Brewers fall 7-1. And the Wisconsin men's tennis team made some history qualifying as a team for the NCAAs for the first time in 15 years. The Badgers earned the 11th seed in their regional and will compete in the 54-hole 3-day tournament starting on May 15th in East Lansing. And we'll be right back with a final check of your forecast after the break.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
The local water experts at Culligan can take care of everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, we do that too. Culligan, here for every water worry.
Thank you so much for picking up.
When you really desperately need to talk to your insurance company, when you're having one of the worst days of your life.
What do people do at a time like this?
Sometimes you just want to talk to someone, a person, not a robot or a recording or an app. Oh, sure, we have all that stuff.
By Friday.
But on a day like that,
Just like that?
that phone line can end up feeling like a lifeline.
Thank you so much for listening.
At a time like that, you want a company like West Bend, because the worst brings out our best.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Crystexo quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Crystexo is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Crystexo. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Crystexo is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Crystexo if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Crystexo, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Crystexo may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Crystexo for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
Get 11% off everything for your bathroom update at Menards. Check out our great selection of tubs, showers, vanities, faucets, and everything else you need to create the bathroom of your dreams. Update your bathroom with a new bathtub and shower from Lions. They're easy to clean and designed with comfortable lumbar support and armrests. Start your next project today and get the Lions Elite Bathtub Shower Kit for $444.99 after 11% off, now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
We're exploring the price of perfection, Thursday at 6.
Julian's back. Final check of the forecast.
The 70s will be ruling our forecast for the next several days, which is the good news. And the bad is that we will have some periods of showers, potentially even some thunderstorms, especially getting into next week. But until then, enjoy this weekend because we have plenty of sunshine. Maybe a bit breezy, but it's probably going to feel pretty good, especially if you're enjoying the good old outdoors. Outside of that, folks, as of right now, not looking at severe storms, but some possible general thunderstorms are likely for next week. Otherwise, this is weather we got to love.
Do you remember the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember these
so
two.
I
have no idea what you're talking about.
70s will feel good weather-wise. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.